So I was making 15 to 20 a month at 16 years old selling ebooks. That like for 16 years old, that was it. I was making more than so. Okay, so by perspective, when I went into college, I was making more than my professors that were teaching me business. I'm sorry. This sounds like a flex. Fuck. It probably sounds really arrogant. This has actually happened though. It's like actual reality. But I remember like sitting in an entrepreneurship class and being like, why am I listening to these people? Because I'm making more than them. Like, and then do you like this is gonna be okay? I swear to God, this happened. There was a class called Entrepreneurial Ventures, and it was a 300 level class. And my instructor, I was sitting in the back of the class. This is going to sound like an That Happened story. Holy crap. Okay, here we go. Twitch chat. I swear to God, I hope that my credibility as a broadcaster has brought me to this point where you know that I wouldn't lie to you about this, okay? Because this is going to sound like the most That Happened story ever. Like everybody stood up and clapped. Like 1,000 women came to me, and then like I had like a hair. I'm like, it's going to be that story. I'm so sorry, but I swear on the Bible, I swear on the Bhagavad Gita, I swear on the Rig Veda, I swear on the Shintoist text, dude. This actually happened exactly like I'm about to tell it, okay? This is that real story. And all I can hope is that I built that credibility, okay? Here it goes. All right. So I was in a class called Entrepreneurial Ventures. Now, keep in mind, I went to a very small school for my college. My college was about 3,000 people. So this isn't like Berkeley where this happened. This isn't like this isn't crazy like that. I was in a class of about 30 people, and the instructor knew me because I was a junior at the time, and it was a 300 level course. The instructor knew me and knew that I was like a very successful business person at that point. Well, relatively to that, not a very successful person, but a successful business person to that point, relative to my age. And he literally looked at me and was like, do you think you know more about this subject than I do? About entrepreneurial ventures. So it's like how to start a physical business and then to grow it and finance it was the subject of the class. And I was like, I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I think I do. And he's like, do you want to teach the course? And I said, fuck yeah. Like, and so what he did was he had me submit a syllabus. So I worked on I actually taught the course. I taught the 300 level course. This is on my resume. It's like, you can call you can't call my college, but you can't, shit. It's in my LinkedIn. Yeah. You can call my college and be like, did DevinNash really do this? Like, or it's somewhere on a website there too. The instructor's name was Rick Normington, who passed away. He had Lou Gehrig's disease. Fucking, so like the worst thing ever. Super awesome dude. And he was like, do you want to teach this class? And I was like, yeah. And so I built the syllabus for the class. And I taught the whole college course, like the whole semester. And it was pretty awesome. And hopefully the students got a lot out of it. And so what would happen is like the instructor would take half the class. And then one of the things I had to do was I had to have guests. So we had to have a certain number of guest speakers. I thought that would be a really cool thing. So I brought in a ton of guests from like around the community and that would actually talk about the businesses that they had built. What were the ebooks you were selling? My first business that I ever did was, and yeah, that instructor was fucking awesome, by the way. He was one of the coolest instructors. And honestly, I think it was a little bit arrogant, my answer, because he probably did know a lot about it. He was a very good teacher. And that was one of the reasons why he was able to do that. You got scammed. He made you do his job for free. I think that was part of his motivation. I think so. That might have been actually part of his motivation. The ebooks I sold. So when I was a kid, I saw that my friend in Canada, this guy named Carter, and later he went on to become one of the top salesmen at Black & Decker, selling tools, and he was like fucking super, super good at doing that. He was telling me about this affiliate marketing stuff through this website, and I think the website was ClickBank, but it might have been an older one. I don't remember if it was ClickBank or ClickBank came later. I'm not sure. This is like many, many years ago in a galaxy far, far away. So we're getting the idea to do affiliate marketing, and so the way affiliate marketing worked in the past, the same way it works now, is you would like blast this link out, and then like people, if you got sales through your link, you'd make some money. And I said, oh, that's cool. And I said, okay, well, what if we did this directly? And I sold like some kind of like info product. And info products have no what's the word? Well, really cost of entry, right? You're not really paying for a product. So you don't really have a margin would be the word I'm looking for. So like for a t-shirt, it might cost like $6 to build to do a t-shirt. You sell it for $20, you get $14. But with like an info product, it's just my time invested in that product. And then after that, I make infinite money. I just have to host the website. It's like $6, right? For a fucking domain or something. So I noticed that Google AdWords was insane for marketing, and this is around the time that I was taking a lot of interest in marketing, because Google AdWords had no floor for the price of a keyword. So you could use a keyword like bronchitis, for example, and that keyword would cost like 2 cents per click. And then you just do the math, right? You'd have 100 people come to your website. It costs 2 cents per click, right? So how much is that? $2? Do I have that right, chat? You're about to learn some really kick-ass business shit. $2, yeah? $2, okay, to get 100 viewers into the website. And I know that my conversion rate is 2%. So I sell 2 books for $20 each. So my cost to acquire customers, which is called user acquisition, UA, is $2, and I make $40. This is fucking busted. So I identified this pretty early, and I was like, holy shit, this is insane. And I can do this ad nauseum, right? I could just do this forever, just making new products and doing it. So what I decided to do was I was like, okay, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to, I need to get like some kind of authority on this stuff, because this is like before like Google was like a big deal, and like the search engine was like people were still using like Alta Vista and like DuckDuckGo and stuff. So you couldn't like really easily like Google like a WebMD or some type of thing. So I was like, okay, what I'll do is I'm going to sell health-based products, because I think there's like immediate need for that. And there is there's like a high demand for those products. I was looking at keywords, I was looking at the trends, and a lot of people Googled stuff like, how do I cure bronchitis? How do I fix my knee pain? Also, I had been learning from marketing, because at the time I was taking courses from a marketer named Jay Abram. And Jay Abram said that if you want to sell something, you always have to have a sense of urgency. And one of the really cool things about health is that if you are in pain, you want to get the fuck out of it, right? If something sucks, if you're sick, all you want to do is be unsick. So you will spend a lot of fucking money to not be sick, and you'll do whatever it takes to do that. Okay, well, so I'll do health stuff. Well, who knows a lot about health stuff? Fucking doctors know a lot about health stuff. So I walked over to my urgent care, and I met with the doctor. I got a legit appointment. Like, I sat there, and then the doctor went and saw me and is like, hey, what's up? Like, what do you got? And I'm like, well, I'm not sick. I just want to talk to you. And he's like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, but here's the deal. I'll pay you $500. All I want to do, and I'll give you something like 2 to 5%, depending on how I negotiated, but like 2 to 5% of each sale of each book. I'll take a picture of you in your white coat, and then you just need to write 1 page of like your kind of professional opinion on how to deal with this thing, and then I'll do the rest. And what I would do is, so let's take a book like bronchitis. So I would get the doctor, they would write the 1 page, right, and then I would go to the library, and I would research all of the stuff about bronchitis. And I found out that there's a cure for bronchitis called silver chloride, which is a really reliable cure for bronchitis that a lot of people don't know about. So I posted that in the book. I had the doctor's recommendations, and then I would post like another like maybe 15 to 20 pages. Total invested time was like maybe a few days to build the info product. So then I would create a 1-page website, and I would write the copy for it. And this was the hardest part, was writing the copy. But if you look at like web copy, it was like this sort of traditional stuff, like web advertising copy. Big red letters, shit like this, right? Except it was like way more sensationalized than this. It was like this kind of stuff, right? Like 3 case studies of campaigns crushing it on Facebook and how you could crush it too. It was that kind of stuff. I was like, if I would do these titles, and then what I would do is I'd create 1 instance of the page, and then I'd create another instance of the page, and I'd A/B test it across, right? Because Google allows you to A/B test. So I would send half of my advertisements to one website, and send half of my advertisements to the next website. I would see through Google Analytics, I would see where I was losing people on the page, and I'd modify that copy. So it's like you would write a story like this is the one cure that doctors don't want you to know about to instantly get rid of bronchitis for good, right? Underline. And that might be one title that I do. Then another title might be like the instant cure to bronchitis they don't tell you at the doctors, right? And then you do ... because ... is really good at like leads, like psychology leading, but there's like in the way that I write these, there's tens of thousands of dollars of marketing knowledge going into these. Like this is, it's hard to explain the reason why I do all this stuff. But so then what you do is you'd A/B test these against each other. You'd come out with a clear winner, which maybe it's this one, and then you A/B and test it against another result. And as a result, you'd raise your conversion rates. So at some point, I would get like usually like 4% conversion off of an average website. So I'm spending $2 to get 100 viewers. I'm getting 4 sales. So I'm spending $2 to make $80. Okay. And then I just built 15 websites like this. And I was like, right, like just rolling huge, right? And that was my whole business. And what was so crazy was it was just fucking rocking. And then want to know what happened? One day I lost it all. Because what happened was Google changed the algorithm. How did you take payments? I used Authorize.net, which was a payment portal, and then I just took PayPal payments and credit cards. And oh man, so Google changed their algorithm completely, and they were like, "Hey, you know what? We don't want to incentivize shitty websites that are one page with like copy that makes people sell stuff. We want to actually get people to content." And I was like, "Fuck that." And so I started trying to create like about pages for my websites, but it was a losing battle. And eventually Google basically knocked me down to irrelevance because I was number 1 on every search result. You'd search bronchitis, I was there. It was number 1. And then I also had Google ads too. So you would see my website here. So in terms of like the page, right, you would see like, here's like the search. This is like the search window. Okay. Like I would have, it was so legendary, man. Because I would have like I'd have like the ads here, and then the ads here. I'd be number 1 on the search results, and then I have the ads here, the ads here, the ads here too. So that's like, and they're just different variations of my website. It couldn't do anything but click my shit. It was so fucking good. Holy moly. And then Google was like, all right, fuck this, because this guy's not creating real content. And they knocked me down. So I would try to create like about pages to make it look like I had this great content. And then it would work for a while, but my money was steadily going down. And eventually, like in about 3 or 4 years, it was over. Going into college, so that was the end. They had figured me out. And marketing is always that kind of strategy where it's like you're trying to game the people that don't want to be gamed, right? Instagram is the same thing. Like TikTok is the same thing. Twitter is the same thing. But it was fun. So yeah, like it was very surreal. Like I never had that childhood of like, oh, like I don't know what it's like because like literally when I went into college, I was making more than like the professors were.
Walk, little walk, small talk, big thoughts. Gonna tell them all just what I want. That street, 2 streets, I see you and me hanging on the empty swings.